Hello and welcome to High Vibe Astrology. This is Jennifer. In this video, I'll be looking at Mars and Pluto as they change signs. Pluto, of course, has a cycle of 248 years. Mars has a very short cycle, and ordinarily we wouldn't be looking at Mars changing signs. However, it has importance in the events that have recently transpired, with a spring equinox followed by the Aries new moon just a day later. Mars rules that Aries new moon, and both Mars and Pluto rule the Scorpio south node. So while we are in eclipse season, with the nodes still in Taurus and Scorpio, and that will be the case until mid-July, these two planets hold great relevance because it has to do with our shifting a perception with regard to our past. Because the nodes weave a bridge from past to future, and as co-rulers of the Scorpio South Node, both Mars and Pluto inform our transition from the past to what we are bringing into our future, which is represented by that Taurus North Node. Pluto and Mars provide clues as to what it is about our relationship to the past that will be changing, as well as what will impact our transition to the new. And when we look at the chart of Pluto's ingress into Aquarius in the center, and then the chart for Mars ingress into Cancer as the outer wheel, when we put those two together, the configuration really looks like an archer's bow, and it's pointing straight for that ascendant. Now, understandably, the ascendant is going to change depending on what location you're in and for what location you're drawing up the chart. However, if we look at this chart as a horary chart, in other words, an event, it's the same as pulling divination cards or doing an oracle reading for any particular question you might have or event that you're wanting to get a read on. So when we take that into consideration, we can look at the ascendant as the energies that are rising, literally, and what is on the horizon. What are we bringing forth? And we are accelerating at breakneck speed, it seems, toward the new Earth. And with Taurus rising, the North Node conjunct that ascendant, and Venus, the ruler of the Taurus North Node and the ascendant, making a conjunction to the ascendant. This is like the astrological equivalent of an exclamation point, just saying that we are all co-creating this new Earth together, and we are moving full speed ahead towards the new age and the new Earth. So the fact that Venus makes a conjunction to the ascendant and the Taurus North Node is a blatant significator of a new destiny dawning, and us being in harmony with that new direction, since Venus rules the North Node as well as the ascendant in this event chart. To consider what Pluto in Aquarius will mean for us, we have to remember that Pluto is the planet that does rule all things that are hidden. It's the god of the underworld. And Pluto rules the shadow side, the hidden realm. But Pluto is also the alchemist that takes what is the low vibration, and through that purification fire, through the alchemical fire, it raises that vibration to something much more pure. It actually allows the pure essence of the soul to shine through. Pluto also teaches us right use of power. And so initially when it enters a sign, it's going to expose the ways in which power has been abused. But then as it continues to move, and of course it takes a long time, it'll be in the sign of Aquarius for 20 years. And it was in the sign of Capricorn for 16. But as it enters Aquarius, we're going to see how energies pertaining to the sign of Aquarius were in some way either kept in the dark, kept from the public, or were used against humanity in some way. But ultimately, Pluto's sojourn in Aquarius is going to be returning the power to the people. When we remember that not everything regarding the shadow and in intangible dimensions is negative, it's really about the shadow symbolizing that energy that is still unconscious, unacknowledged, and therefore it is untapped potential. But some of these things are going to be extremely beneficial to humanity. When we consider that Pluto is in its relationship to Scorpio, it has a lot to do with wealth. So it actually means hidden wealth. And in this case, we can think precious metals, gold, silver. So when Pluto enters Aquarius, it may reveal wealth we never knew about, an inheritance of sorts that is both material and spiritual, and that regenerates and revitalizes the human family. The sign Aquarius also symbolizes advances in science and technology, innovations, inventions that carry us light years ahead. So with Pluto entering the sign of Aquarius, we will more than likely see advances in technology that either have been kept in the dark or that are just now dawning upon our consciousness. Pluto's fundamental job is to annihilate anything that the ego has become too attached to, so that the pure essence of the soul can shine through. And in that respect, we will see Pluto exposing certain power abuses in the realm of science and technology, telecommunications, aviation, all things Aquarian. And that is for the purpose of dismantling that power. Now, when Mars moves into the sign of Cancer, as I said, normally we wouldn't even really be talking about this because Mars moves so quickly through signs. But this time, because it has had a longer than usual stay in Gemini, the fact that it's shifting signs and the fact that it pertains not only to the recent Aries new moon, but also this Scorpio South node that we're finishing up this year. So its changing sign does have an impact on our consciousness. And with it changing into Cancer, it seems a bit paradoxical because Mars is the warrior and it wants to protect and defend, and Cancer is the nurturer. But what they do have in common is the instinct to protect the vulnerable. Cancer's symbol, the crab, actually retreats into its shell when it feels vulnerable. And with a warrior in the sign of the nurturer, the sign of domesticity, the sign of emotional connection, and the mother, there is a common theme of protecting the vulnerable that both Mars and Cancer share, and that's the common denominator. This also has a lot to do with ancestral history, because Cancer is concerned with our family history, ancestral roots, the roots that go deep. And so this is about leaving a legacy or learning more about our legacy. It's concerned with emotional bonds and soul groups that extend back in time. Mars in Cancer may instigate protection of the homeland. When we combine Pluto in Aquarius with Mars in Cancer, we get a sort of hybrid involving soul families that include our extraterrestrial brothers and sisters. So Cancer is the clan by birthright, and Aquarius is the clan that we cultivate throughout life, that we choose, our group of allies, our group of peers. But also Aquarius rules those from off-world advanced civilizations. So we can't overlook the fact that there will be a bonding of sorts, a communication with our extraterrestrial brothers and sisters. It's almost as if we've got in Cancer the motherland, and with Aquarius the mothership. So this conscious connection and telepathic communication will be developing as Pluto moves into Aquarius. And we may get, we're just going to get a taste of this for a few months before Pluto goes retrograde and back into Capricorn. But I feel that there is going to be a blending between Cancer and Aquarius that that will instigate a conscious connection for the purpose of advancing our own evolution on Earth. For this next part, I'm doing things a little differently. Instead of repeating what I've written here, I decided to play the tones that represent the blending of these transits. What you will hear are 3 different blends with an affirmation, and feel free to write your own. I'm just offering suggested affirmations as a way to help us focus on the horizon rather than the past. If we can remember that all of us are experiencing the labor pains that accompany any birth, hopefully that will help us keep breathing and keep our focus squarely on that horizon, just like the archer's bow and arrow in the event chart that I shared today. And of course, what I've written here are extremely generalized in terms of what each sign could potentially experience with these transits. So please do consider a more personalized reading with me. I offer natal, what's on the horizon, and even just quick SOS 30-minute check-ins. If you want to do that, just visit my website by clicking the links in the window below this video. As always, I appreciate each one of you for tuning in and supporting this channel with your likes, comments, and shares. Until next time, this is Jennifer. Bye for now. Pluto with Uranus. The Creator reveals gifts from my own soul's untapped potential, and I am filled with gratitude, hope, and joy for all that is unfolding for myself and humanity. Mars with a full moon. I release emotional wounds from my past and initiate a self-care routine for my highest good and the highest good of all. This is Pluto, Venus, and Mars for the T-square. As I focus on a peaceful and prosperous transition for myself and those I love, I simultaneously release everything that no longer serves humanity's forward evolution.